probably just got their hands full with day-to-day lives, you know. I mean, it's a bit of a rat race out there, especially with recession and all that. So I've kind of like found it a bit difficult to get a lot of people involved. Even though it's their homes, they still kind of like, I don't know, I think they're not maybe totally aware of the consequences of not trying to get, deeply involved in this campaign.
What we're doing is, particularly a lot of CARP members are homeowners. It doesn't mean we're excluding anybody who's a tenant, but the reason is because homeowners have been dealt the worst deal. When I said the worst deal, the council are reluctant to negotiate with us on a fair basis to say, look guys, we know you bought in this area and we will develop, we will offer you X amount, or we will discuss about you staying here. So they haven't had that discussion. It's easy to do with a tenant, and that's what they're doing. So for us as CARP, we really want to be able to say to people that first point is that we want to stay in this area. We're a community. There are people who you probably meet or have met already who've been here 40, 50, if not longer. So it's not about the houses so much, it's about the community. There are people who've got memories here, they've had their children get married, they've worked at a local school. So once you strip everything away as part of this regeneration, you strip away their history. And they don't want that. So the council don't recognise that, and they don't want to recognise that. So that's why CARP is very clear that our stance is to retain the community as it stands. We know that there's work that's to be done in this estate, in other words, to bring it up to decent standards, and it can be refurbished, that can be done. So it's about what the council are willing to do and how willing they are to talk to us and recognise that the majority of residents are behind CARP and not the TMA. Yeah, we're not anti-Olympics. I like the Olympics. Yeah. In fact, one of my friends hopefully should be ready in time to run in the Olympics, the 100 metres. But it's our relationship with the council and the whole regeneration of the area. The Olympics is great. Some of our friends have got tickets. I'm trying to bid for tickets, but I didn't get any. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Olympics at all. But it should be part of a discussion with the council to say, look, we're doing this whole Olympic legacy, and part of your housing legacy should be to make sure communities remain here. The council you probably see the slogan for the council, new and place people wish to work, stay and play, I think it is, something along that line. Yeah. I mean, isn't it as clear as mud that most people who bought in the area want to stay here? I bought mine way before the Olympics were announced. So I think it's a bit of a fallacy really for them to think that they actually benefit from the community when the example here is happening.
I'm quite new to this campaign thing, and I've been looking at trying to get good practices, examples of good practice. And I've been looking at other boroughs, and I've seen, I think in Southwark, which is another Labour borough, examples of regeneration and good practice where local authority engage with residents to develop a charter and development brief, and there's good consultation. But that's the key thing, the consultation needs to be done properly. And this hasn't happened here. We have councillors for, this is a ward we're in now, and we have 3 councillors, and I don't know if you guys have heard about these 3 councillors. They never ever really come to this estate, and they don't really engage with anybody here. And I think it goes back to that problem again, whereby the council, they feel that they dominate, they have the whole cabinet. We've got an elected mayor who basically he can override his own cabinet.
I think the most important thing we've learned on part of the state over the past 5 years that communities should have significant say in the way in which their local space, social space and living space is developed and is controlled. That's very important. And the mechanisms and how that is achieved, it is important, because what you can lose is that sense of control over how you live and where you live and how you want to. And I think that's what's been lost in Cobblers. So
if you go over to the doctor's surgery, the young lady there comes to horn changes. And she says, one thing in here, she said, when you come in, if I go in with his prescription or whatever, everybody, hello, because everybody knows it.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And then that's coming from outside of carpenters.
You know yourself when you walk into somewhere you don't know, nobody knows you, you don't know anybody, feel a bit strange, don't you? And until you break the ice and get on with each other.
I mean, the man over the road, I mean, Joe's been here for quite a while now, but the woman next door to Joe, she came here the same as us, new. Well, they all came new, but she's still here. There's George is still here. They're all still there. You know, other than a few that died, obviously, the older people. But it is the community, I think. And also, like I said, like, if May goes away next door, I look after her place, I have her keys, keep my eye. And if we went away, she does the same for me, and even next door, I keep my eye. But, you know, if we move, how do you build that trust up that you've had for 42 years? It's very hard, you know, if you go and live next door to someone else that you don't know. You know, so there's lots of things.
In the summer, you know, when they're away on holiday, or we're away on holiday, come in, water all our garden and
that's
all
what we
the
do,
plants
you know,
and
and do
stuff
our
like that,
things
you know.
and so on and so forth. But when, you know, if they say, look, you've got to get out, apart from the fact, where do you go? You know, you can't build that trust that we have at the moment. I know you have to move on. Everybody has to move on and sort of start again. You know, we're all getting older, and it's difficult to just up and move. You know, even if we won the lottery, I think it'd be difficult.
Well, I don't know as much.
Well, you know.
There is communication, but not good communication. So consultation is very, very important. We've got a tenant management organisation that's supposed to represent us as residents about their goings. And the problem there is they've actually got an advisor, an independent advisor, who's been trained to support everything the council wants, and not what the tenants want or the residents want. So the issue there is the TMI are not proactive. So where we've actually said, look, decisions need to be taken about this, you actually need to be forthright with the council, ask some searching questions. They haven't done that. We've had monthly meetings with the council representatives and asked them key things about planning they've got for the area, rehousing issues, leaseholders buyback, a whole range of issues. Nothing's forthcoming. And the TMO are supporting the council in doing that. So we've got fed up with that, really. And in essence, that's why we formed Carpenters and Data Regeneration, to say that we stand aside from the TMO. We want to sever links with the TMO and stand on our own. We want to represent the residents in this area because they've got a voice that's not been heard.
Well, 3 aims. I think the first one is to stop the regeneration. The second one is to stop the regeneration. The third one is to stop the regeneration. But I would say one more thing I would say about this. I think touched on one of the earlier questions, which I'm sorry I didn't answer, was that you asked about the way it's changed me. The surprising thing is, I was not really somebody.
Never done.